It's been just over 3 months since my last Ashes of Creation video, which covered the massive announcement that the game was upgrading from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5, bringing with it better graphics, better optimization capabilities, as well as a more efficient development pipeline. With such a big announcement, I didn't expect I'd have anything noteworthy to cover with Ashes of Creation for quite some time, but here we are 3 months later with another video demonstrating massive progress with the game's development, this time in the form of their character creator and a showcase of multiple playable races that we've never seen modelled before. No sponsor on today's video, but if you're interested in Ashes of Creation and think this will be a game you'll play in the future, then click my referral link in the description below to create an account for the game and support my channel in the future when it does eventually release. So starting out with the livestream, we got some panning shots of a few different Kaylar human models, with a brief look at the Kaylar female, before then giving us our first look at the in-progress character creator menu with a Vec male on display. The Vec are one of the game's 2 orc races, and this is the first time we've seen this race in-game. The Vec look completely different to the other playable orc race known as the Renkai, which we got a preview of in the February livestream. As you can see, the Renkai are big chonky boys, whereas the Vec look a lot more goblin-esque. My first impressions of seeing the Vec in the character creator was that it looks like there's a lot of personality in there. He looks like a grumpy cave dweller, but also fairly intelligent. I like how you could see the light reflect off his skin, the actual skin texture looked really good, and he has a super weird body and bone structure. Steven didn't go too in-depth customizing the Vec as it was only just added to the character creator, but hitting randomize a few times you could see the body change. You'll be able to be fat or skinny, different tusks, tattoos, skin color, eyes, and so on. The female version of this isn't in the character creator yet, but I'd expect to see more progress on this race's customization to be shown off next livestream. Overall though, super interesting race. Next we got to see what the character customization is really capable of, this time on a male human Kaylar race. The first thing I noticed here was that the hair from the beard looks super realistic, possibly the best MMO hair I've seen so far. So let's go through some of the things we can customize here. First of all, body sliders. This basic menu shows height, weight, chest, crotch and bottom, but as you'll see later in the video, there's so many more sliders than this in the sculpt menu. The thing I'm most excited about here is that you'll have the option to make your character fat or skinny. Many MMOs don't actually give you this option because it causes complications when fitting armor to the model, but you can actually be quite fat in this game if you choose. Next, wrinkles and skin options. Until now, Black Desert Online has been the gold standard when it comes to MMO character creation, but one thing that game did limit you on was the age of your character. If you played a wizard, you're limited to being an old man, a warrior, mid-30s, archer, early 20s. Ashes of Creation will not have these limitations, and you'll be able to fine-tune your skin colour with 3 different colours of base, hue and pigmentation until you get something you're happy with. Hair options, probably one of the most important aspects of character customization. In the video shown for the demo, there were 5 different preset options, each of which allowed you to fine-tune the length of the hair, as well as choose from 3 different colours with contrast and gradient options too. This allows you to create a 2-tone hair colour. In the example shown, they went with a salt and pepper style. The beard facial hair options were especially impressive, as you're able to combine cheek, chin and lip hair presets, each of which have their own length adjustment options, to really create that full face of beard that I know you lumberjack role players are looking for. Unlike other MMOs, the hair in this game isn't static either, it seems like there's some physics to it as well. I would expect them to add more base hair presets in the future and expand on the options already available, but for a first pass, this is already vastly better than what the average MMO allows you to customize when it comes to hair. For eye customization, you've got different iris patterns as well as an entire palette of colours. With this, you could make yourself look like a blind sage if you wanted to. You can also change your nail colour in this game. I don't think I've ever seen a character creator that gives you this option, which is pretty cool and some nice attention to detail. Next we got to look at the sculpt menu. This, in my opinion, is where the real magic happens in the character customization. So at a base level, the sculpt menu allows you to drag and morph different parts of the body, similar to how it works in Black Desert Online. But where this tech is taken to the next level is in your character's face. You can click on your character's chin, mouth, cheeks, eyes, eyebrows, ears, nose and forehead to then be displayed with between 5 to 10 dots, each of which can be dragged to morph that facial feature in whichever way you like. With this level of detail, you'll be able to make your character's face structure look exactly like your own if you're artistic enough. Something else that was completely next level for MMO character customization was their implementation of tattoos and scars. You'll be able to drag and drop up to 3 tattoos and scars at once to your character anywhere on the body or face, then fully manipulate the size, colour, angle and strength of them to your liking. You can enlarge tattoos to be so big that they look like a half sleeve, or even cover your whole body. You can take a scar, enlarge it and put it across both of your eyes to make it look like you've taken an axe to the face if you like. I've played a lot of MMOs that allow you to place some scars and tattoos, but nothing with this level of freedom, and this is just a first pass too, so I'd expect even more scar and tattoo variations to be added later on. Finally, to fully show off the power of the character creator, we got to see a preset someone made of the bald god himself. This was showcased alongside another customization feature called Blend, in which you can combine multiple presets to make characters that look like they're part of the same family. Steven said this feature might be used in other areas of the game too, such as customizing NPCs who work on your character's freehold. Additionally, something that was mentioned is that the tech used in the character creator will likely be used in combination with the game's animal husbandry system, which is a life skill in the game where you'll be able to breed together different pets and mounts to create some majestic creatures of beauty or absolute abominations. Overall, I'm super impressed with the character creation so far, even though it's still far from finished and there's a lot missing. I'm glad the character creator is something that Intrepid plan on giving players access to before the launch of the game, so we'll all have hours to create our characters and they'll be ready to go immediately upon launch. I have to admit, I was skeptical when Steven said he intended on Ashes having character creation as good or better than Black Desert Online in the past, but it seems like they're actually going to pull it off. Intrepid Studios have really gone through the gears when it comes to the game's development in the past year. Just look at the character creator from the game's Alpha 1 test that was shown only 8 months ago. The difference from then to now is night and day. The upgrade to Unreal Engine 5 certainly helps too. It wouldn't surprise me if over the next 3 to 6 months, all of the 9 playable races with both male and female versions will be complete. We've already seen the Kalar male and female, Vec male and female, we've seen a preview of the male and female Valoon, which are a human race with Middle Eastern influence, we've seen the male and female Dunir dwarves, which have recently been updated and shown off since they were last playable in Alpha 1. In January we got a preview of the Nakua dwarven race, which look a lot more halfling with Polynesian influence, in contrast to the Dunir, which are more traditional fantasy dwarves that live in mountains. We got our first good look of the male Renkai orc model in the February livestream. Still haven't seen the female version of that yet though. We've already seen the female and male Empyrean elves, basically a traditional fantasy elf race, and very recently we got our first look at the Pyray elves, both male and female options concept art with very early stage modelling. The Pyray are more in tune with nature, as you can see from the branches growing out of their heads. At this point, the only race we haven't seen anything from yet in terms of concept art or updates is the Tolnar race, who inhabit the Underrealm, and is said to be a combination of the 4 major races, as well as a bit of an influence from some minor races. I'm expecting these guys to be some kind of weird crossbred cave dwellers, so hopefully we'll get a good look at this race sometime soon. A few other things we've been shown that I found cool from the January and February live streams was a demonstration on how the placement of a node affects the roads around it. Roads closer to towns and cities will be made from bricks and give speed bonuses to caravans when you travel on them, whereas further out they become dirt roads with less speed bonus. We got a quick look at the 3D model for one of the low-level player boats. I often forget that Ashes is planning on having a full ship and sailing system like Arcade in the game, so I'm excited to see more stuff related to sea content in the future. We also got to see a bunch of new mounts, pets, and weird fantasy creatures that you can probably merge together using the game's animal husbandry life skill. One final thing worth mentioning is that Steven said in the most recent livestream that their goal this year is to expand the team to around 200 people working on the game, making it one of the biggest MMOs currently in development. So if you're a skilled developer interested in a job, then check out the job listings posted on their website and LinkedIn. If I was a game dev, I couldn't think of a more exciting project to work on. You're literally building the most ambitious fantasy MMO ever made. It doesn't get better than that. But that's pretty much all of the highlights from the first 3 Ashes of Creation live streams of 2022. Once again, some strong and impressive progress being shown, progress that I wasn't expecting considering we ended 2021 with a massive announcement. I'll likely keep doing these Ashes of Creation update videos to keep you all up to date with the progress of the project every 3 months or so when there's some cool stuff to talk about. Covering this game has become a passion of mine over the years anyway, so any excuse I get to make some content about it, I'll take. As always, let me know your thoughts on the recent progress shown with the character creator in the comments below. Are there any features missing that you'd like to see added later on? Which of the game's 9 races do you reckon you'll pick for launch? Social media and Ash's referral link on screen. I hope you all had a successful day, and I'll see you again in the next one.